Jimmy Fallon, the usually lighthearted, people-pleasing host of The Tonight Show, threw politeness out the window and absolutely torched Prince Harry in front of a live studio audience. During a fiery monologue that quickly spiraled into a public undressing, Fallon called the wayward Duke a tosser live on air, sparking stunned silence, then thunderous laughter. But behind the comedic jab was a truth millions have been thinking for years. Prince Harry has become an international punchline, a man whose descent from military hero to Montecito mess has been as tragic as it is embarrassing. What Fallon delivered wasn't just a joke, it was a cultural verdict. And the timing couldn't have been worse for Harry, who is currently scrambling for relevance amid collapsing brand deals, waning public support, and a growing chorus of media figures who finally stopped tiptoeing around his royal fragility. Fallon, with his mass appeal and American charm, did what few major hosts have dared to do so openly. He said exactly what people are thinking. Prince Harry is no longer a sympathetic escapee from the palace. He's a privileged hypocrite who traded duty for dollars and authenticity for airtime. Fallon's uncharacteristic fury came during a segment discussing Hollywood's obsession with royalty, where he sarcastically asked the crowd, "Can someone remind me, what does Harry do again?" After a pause and a smirk, he added, "Oh right, he whines for a living. Sorry, I forgot. What a tosser." The jab wasn't just spontaneous, it was explosive, breaking through the carefully manufactured image of a misunderstood prince and exposing him as an opportunist who's worn out his welcome on both sides of the Atlantic. The backlash was immediate and not against Fallon. Social media lit up with praise. Finally, someone said it. One user tweeted, "Fallon's right, Harry's lost the plot." Even traditionally liberal outlets picked up the story with a tinge of amusement rather than outrage. That's because Fallon's outburst wasn't based on scandal or gossip, it was rooted in a very real public sentiment that Prince Harry has become a parody of himself, a man completely disconnected from the ordinary people he once claimed to champion. The public started souring on Harry long before Fallon's bombshell. His Netflix docuseries, Harry and Meghan, was supposed to be a rebranding effort, a platform to share their truth. Instead, it devolved into a 6-hour whinge-fest filled with complaints about palace staff, paparazzi, and most laughably, their $14 million Montecito mansion being too exposed to the public eye. Critics slammed the show as self-indulgent, tone-deaf, and delusional. One Guardian critic described it as a vanity project so wrapped in self-pity it forgets to be interesting. Then came the memoir Spare, a literary grenade launched by Harry himself in January 2023. Meant to be a candid tell-all, it quickly turned into a catalog of cringe, frostbitten genitals, mushroom hallucinations at Courtney Cox's house, physical fights with Prince William over Meghan, and more juvenile emotional outbursts than an angsty teenager's diary. While sales initially surged, the long-term impact was reputational suicide. The public didn't see a man healing, they saw a grown royal regressing. Fallon's joke didn't come from nowhere. It came from Spare, from Netflix, from Harry's endless media tour of oversharing and underdelivering. Worse, Fallon's commentary reflects growing resentment in America, Harry and Meghan's supposed safe haven. When the Sussexes first stepped away from royal duties in 2020, they were embraced as freedom fighters, escaping the grip of monarchy to pursue love and autonomy. Fast forward to 2025 and the narrative has collapsed. With every failed project, from Meghan's Spotify fallout to Harry's climate change lectures delivered while hopping private jets, the couple have become symbols of hypocrisy rather than independence. Fallon simply gave that frustration a voice. Perhaps the most damaging aspect of Fallon's takedown is that it signals open season on Harry from the very media class that once handled him with kid gloves. Fallon isn't Piers Morgan. He's not part of the British press Harry so passionately despises. He's a mainstream, apolitical American host. For him to lash out like this signals something bigger. Harry's public image is no longer protected. It's punchable. And that's terrifying for a man whose post-royal relevance depends entirely on being seen as a wounded, wise outsider, not a pampered brat cashing in on chaos. Even within Hollywood, there's been a noticeable cooling. Sources from Netflix have hinted that future projects with the Sussexes are being reevaluated. Spotify didn't just drop Meghan's podcast, they walked away entirely from the $20 million deal. And while the couple still have a production company, Archwell, the buzz around them has evaporated. Fallon's jab didn't spark that decline, it confirmed it. Moreover, Fallon didn't just insult Harry, he dismantled the entire Sussex mythos in a sentence. What does he do again is not just rhetorical. It's the question on everyone's mind. What value does Prince Harry actually bring to the table now? He's no longer a working royal. He's not an acclaimed writer. He's not a leading voice on mental health or veterans' rights. His appearances feel transactional. His speeches sound rehearsed. His interviews come off as strategic rather than sincere. And now even the comedy world has begun to mock the very emptiness of his existence. One could argue that Fallon's comment was just a joke. But the best jokes resonate because they're built on truth. Harry has made himself into a target not because he left the monarchy, but because he refused to grow up once he did. He turned his trauma into currency, his grievances into branding, and his past into perpetual victimhood. Fallon didn't attack a prince, he exposed a persona, and the audience loved every second of it. The humiliation, of course, will be spun. Harry's team will likely leak that Fallon was misinformed or unfair. But the truth is simpler and more brutal. America has turned. The goodwill is gone. And if the most amiable host in late night is now calling you a tosser on national television, you're not just losing the PR war, you've already lost it. Prince Harry's fall from grace didn't happen in a day. It's been a slow-motion unraveling, powered by self-pity, media addiction, and a profound misreading of what the public actually wants from its ex-royals. Fallon's live TV evisceration was merely the punctuation mark, a brutal, unforgettable reminder that for all his titles, therapy sessions, and confessions, Harry has become exactly what his critics feared, an empty vessel with a royal stamp, drifting ever further from dignity, purpose, or respect. And as Jimmy Fallon might say, what a tosser indeed.